Great evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to this week's edition of the Coach's Corner. My name is Nakia O'Shea. I am one of the senior members on this team. Thank you for taking time out of your Wednesday to spend some time with us. We'd love to have a conversation with you. So if you don't have any background noise, then by all means, take yourself off mute. If you do have background noise, then do me a favor and remain on mute. So I just want to share something with you. Don't get discouraged when people don't support you. Just simply take a note, take a mental note. And the reason why I say that is you're in the people sorting business, and not everyone belongs in a front row seat in your life. Some people belong in the balcony. So treat people accordingly. The young man that's going to bring the information to us tonight, he loves to have fun. He is a documented seven-figure income earner in this industry. He loves to apply pressure. The reason why he likes to apply pressure is because in order to make diamonds, it requires pressure. He knows 100% of the facts. He loves to hang out at two places. That's the beach and the bank. He is a master trainer, mentor, coach, and friend. And he loves to share information. And the reason why is because he's a sponge. So he soaks up information so that he can ring out. I'd like to present to some, but introduce to others, Mr. Sonic Jones. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you loud and clear, but can you hear me?
I can, sir.
Excellent. That means this $652 camera that I bought is working, and the mic is working just as well. See Tommy over there clapping and making fun of me. A few of y'all clapping. Okay, Francine, I got you. But I appreciate everybody. Thank you for joining us live on this week's edition of the Coach's Corner Call. And if you are watching the recording, you should have been here, right? But I so greatly appreciate that super warm introduction, Miss Nakia O'Shea, diamond influencer extraordinaire, super leader, and listen, quietly has been garnering so many accolades behind the scenes she doesn't even see. Thank you for all that you do in supporting the calls and the field as only you can do. So we appreciate you, Nakia. Thank you again for that warm introduction. Hello, everybody. As she said, my name is Sonic Jones. And before I get started, Nakia, you 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 dropped some things on this call today. Can you repeat what you said about the people in the balcony? Can you say that one more time?
Absolutely. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Sometimes people deserve to be in the balcony.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, we're going to have a part two and continuation of a call that we did last week where we were giving out some prescriptions for individuals who felt like they may have had some afflictions in their business, right? They wanted some solutions and some advice. And so we're going to continue that tonight. But before I do get started with that, I just got four things that I want to just some bullet points that I want to make y'all think about tonight. And it's interesting you say that because we don't rehearse anything, you know, Nakia and I. It's but the first pointer that I was going to get to has something to do with what you just said about people sometimes just do not deserve a front row seat. I am on Facebook, guys, on social media. I have once again approached my 5,000 friend limit. I was having a conversation with Nakia the other day about getting rid of people, and just making some choices of who to get rid of, and that can be a difficult thing. It can be an emotional thing sometimes. But the way you put that, Nakia, again, it's just going to go to my first point. Ladies and gentlemen, you might want to write this down because I'm only going to drop a few on you tonight. All right. Number one, I think it's imperative, ladies and gentlemen, that you do some pruning in your life. Pruning in your life and in social media. Now, I was talking to Seymour right before this call, and I said, Seymour, man, I've been messaging you. Seymour was like, man, I've been messing with my plants. You know, Seymour is the green thumb of green organics, it seems, right? I mean, and if you've ever done anything with any kind of plants, bushes, trees, or anything like that, those that are skilled in that will tell you how important it is for trees to be pruned. And in order for a tree to be pruned, or the reason I should say a tree needs to be pruned is one, for disease purposes, because if you don't prune it, it can become diseased very easily. But also for it to grow, number two is for it to grow properly and really expand, it is important for that tree to be properly pruned. And the same thing with some bushes and things like that. But I want you to apply this to your life, ladies and gentlemen. In order for you to grow, it's important for you to do some pruning in your life and some pruning in social media. So I'm gonna have to cut some people out. So people that's not been interacting, people that's not been participating, patronizing, right? Those people gotta go. Because I need room for people who are willing to interact, people who are willing to take a look at the business, people who are willing to expand their mindsets. And I invite you, even though you may not be at that 5,000 friend limit, you may want to do some social media, but I promise you, you definitely want to do some pruning in your life, ladies and gentlemen. You want to fill your surroundings with people who want to be around you. People that believe in personal growth and people that want to do well in their lives, but also want to see you do well in yours. All right. So that's the first little nugget I want to drop on y'all today. Number two, for those of you who have a job, we often tend to think as our job as our plan A. And our business is our plan B. Anybody agree with that? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I'm encouraging you, especially in today's atmosphere and everything else, you may want to start to mentally reverse that. You may want to really start to think about making your business your plan A and your job your plan B. Now, I'm not saying do things to put yourself in the way of getting fired. That's not what I'm saying. I want you to really hear me clear, because I will tell you this. Jobs are not loyal to you, and we can lose a job at any given moment. But if you're growing your business, it creates some sort of stability in your life. Now, that's not to say that things don't happen to companies, because things can happen to companies as far as that we're building our business with. I've been a part of some companies that, went under or were sold or different things like that. But I can tell you this, the relationships that I built with my business partners and the loyalty and the trust that I've built with my customer base, I was able to transfer them to different companies as well. And I hope that makes sense to you. So I want you to reverse in your mind, and then in your actions, make your business your plan A and your job your plan B. I hope that makes sense to y'all. Number three. You know what? I'm gonna give you this one. Number three. There's something called the popcorn theory. Has anybody ever heard of the popcorn theory?
Mm.
I don't know if
No.
that yes
No.
or that was
No,
enough.
sir.
No.
All right. Has anybody ever, I know we got some seasoned, I like to call us, I'm saying us now because I just got my AARP card, right? But some of us seasoned citizens, right? don't laugh at that too hard, Lori. But some of the old school people here, let's go that way. Anybody ever used to make popcorn on the stove? Everybody remember Jiffy Pop?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Just
So
had
y'all
some
showing y'all
last
age.
week.
Yes,
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
do that now.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
right.
Before Jiffy Pop, we just
I
before
still
Now-
make
Jiffy
my
Pop, it was
popcorn like
just a
that.
skillet. I did just a skillet. There was no Jiffy Pop.
Probably
Yeah.
It
three
was
of
just a skillet.
I
I don't
still
even
do it that way.
in the stores.
Put that popcorn in that skillet in a minute and pop,
Now
pop, pop,
that's
pop, pop.
old school.
All
Yeah,
right,
in the skillet.
let me say this. All right, now I got any younger folk on here. How are most people making their popcorn nowadays?
In the
In
market.
a microwave.
Microwave.
Way.
Microwave.
Ladies and gentlemen, it takes, I don't know, maybe about 3 minutes to make a bag of popcorn now. Would you agree? put that, we
Yes.
open up that bag, take it out the wrapper, we put that bag of popcorn in the microwave, we push the button, and 3 minutes later, we have a tasty treat. What you can't do is put that bag in the microwave and cook it for 30 seconds a week and expect you to have a bag of popcorn in a couple months.
Do you?
That makes sense.
Let's say this again, because some of y'all didn't even put these two together.
Oh, I got you.
We could put this bag of popcorn in a microwave and we could run it hard for 3 minutes and we can have a tasty, delicious snack. But what you cannot do is cook it for 30 seconds a week and expect to have a tasty, healthy, nice snack in a few months.
Right.
With your business, ladies and gentlemen. See, some of y'all are still playing the long game, and I'm gonna encourage you to switch up your style and run hard. Now, I often teach and train, and I tell people, business can be a marathon or it can be a sprint. You kind of choose which race you want to go. But tonight, for those of you that are lucky enough to be on live with me, I'm going to encourage you leaders, take the sprint. Run this thing as hard as you can, as fast as you can. And I tell people all the time, I'd rather you get uncomfortable over the next 2 to 3 years, running yourself ragged, killing this business, so that you can be comfortable for the rest of your life.
Woo! Sorry.
When it hits you, my brother. And I hope that hit some people tonight. So those are some nuggets that I just wanted to drop on y'all today. I hope maybe it reached a few people, but I'm going to, we're going to go into prescription time, ladies and gentlemen, for those that are here live. If you have a question, if you have an issue, if you have a concern, if you have some confusion about business, let's keep it about business. Like, I don't really want to be discussing your kids and like that, right? But if you have, because I may not be qualified to answer that. No, Gina, you didn't miss number 4. I just actually I decided to just go with 3. I didn't like the third one that I was going to give you, and it wasn't going to be impactful enough for tonight. So I'm gonna reword it, and we'll come back and drop that another night. But that was really good, Gina. Good catch for you. All right. But if you have a question, do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, and go ahead and put your hands up virtually. And I want to call on you. Let's get your questions asked and answered, and hopefully get some progress moving in your life. Now, if you claim that you don't have any questions, it's going to be my assumption that you know everything. And that your business is where you want it to be. And I know we may have some new people on here. So first of all, welcome to all the new people. And some of y'all may be like, what did I just walk into? But trust me, we have a lot of fun here on Wednesday nights, ladies and gentlemen. But so if you're new and you don't know what's going on, just get in, buckle your seat. We're gonna take you on a ride as we continue to do these Coaches Corner calls every single Wednesday. But I see Miriam with a hand up, so we're going to start with Miriam. The rest of y'all, get your hands up and get ready. And let's see if we can get some questions asked and answered. Go ahead, Miss Miriam. What is your question? I'm scared of Miriam's questions, but go ahead.
Hey, Coach, some folks might not know how to raise their hand virtually on the Zoom platform, especially if they're new. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Sorry, Miriam. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I was going to say that little heart thing at the bottom, if you're on a laptop, the thing that says react, click it, and then it has a little hand raise thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's a raise
You're
hand
welcome.
as well on my computer. But, maybe
Okay, so
super expensive
here's
computer
my question.
Tommy made me go buy. But all right, go ahead, Miss Miriam. What you got?
Okay. Now this is, I don't know if you want to talk about what happened previously to me today.
Oh, Lord.
But I'm not. I just want to know, at somebody like me being maybe 2.5 years in network marketing, how can I guess, project a better posture when I am talking to prospects?
First thing with that, Miriam, is you really have to make sure that your belief system is at 100%. And I've covered some things that you need to really raise your belief system in. I don't have those notes in front of me, but belief in your company, belief in your products, belief in your compensation plan, different things like that. And when your belief system is at a level that can't nobody mess with, that means spouses, children, haters, whatever, it will help to raise your posture level. I've been in this industry for a long time, as some of you guys know. I'm about to celebrate 30 years in this industry. And I started when I was about 6 or 7 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm only 36, right? But can't nobody shake my posture. And I'm quick to take this business away. Like some people still feel like they got to beg people. Some people you got, please, would you just please take a look? I don't beg nobody for nothing. My posture is so strong because I know what the industry has done for me on a financial level, on a mental level, but more importantly, I know what this industry has helped me do for others. And so because of that, my posture is so strong with this company. You can't tell me nothing. I know that the products in this company has really reversed about 3 to 4 different autoimmune diseases that I was going to. I know that they've helped me lose about 140 pounds. I know that, they've helped with the cancer and everything that I was dealing with. I know they've helped with Scott. Like from a personal level, can't shake me on this company or the products, right? So the belief level is there. And those are the, really the biggest, that's the biggest thing as far as really making sure that your posture is right, is having your belief level right. Now, I did have a conversation with a gentleman earlier, and this gentleman was dropping some major nuggets on the call. I was about to say last week, but he does it almost every week. When I pass the mic to him relentlessly. But Mr. Seymour, would you like to add 2 cents on that as far as posture? No, well, yeah, your posture level, not your belief level, but your posture level. As far as you have any advice you want to share with Miriam, or you want to defer for the next question?
Sure, I'll put some 2 cents in there. One of the first thing I will say is you have to respect yourself first. Because if you respect yourself, you're going to carry yourself at a high standard. And if you carry yourself at that high standard, people will see it. You don't even have to ask for the respect. As soon as they look at you, that respect is going to come out because of the energy that you're going to put out. So first off, respect yourself. Second is, like I said a couple of weeks ago, the same way you have faith, believe, and trust in the Lord upstairs, a lot of people don't have that same belief, trust, and faith in themselves. So you got to create that. You got to build that. Okay? Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, would you be the leader that you will follow? And if you are that leader that you will follow, you shall have a problem having somebody that you talk to receive that and want to be the person that you're going to follow. And 3, remember one thing, we don't get people in, we let them in.
Facts.
So if you're going to be talking to somebody, you basically doing a interview. You're interviewing that individual. Because if you want to call that person your business partner, you're not going to just pick anybody off the street to be your business partner. Okay? And 4, surround yourself around people that other people respect. And if you're doing that, you're going to start acting the same way the people that you respect. You're going to start acting that way because, number one, you're going to ask them questions. You're going to try to find out what they did to be where they at. And then you're going to start carrying yourself that way. You're going to start noticing that the way you talk going to be completely different. The way you dress going to be completely different. The way you carry yourself going to be completely different. The place you live going to be completely different. So if you can do all those 4 things, you're not going to have a problem showing somebody what you want for them to learn. And number 5, the main thing, You got to be truthful. Tell the truth. Don't try to be who you're not. You know, we always hear that, fake it till you make it. I don't believe in that because people can see through that very, very easily. Be truthful. I learned from the person that brought me into HBN. I looked up to that individual until they lied to me. And once I found out that they lied to me, I didn't have no more respect for that individual. And I'm glad that I'm under Kim. But those 5 things right there.
And listen, I have people that say, well, why do you call on Seymour? First of all, I know the level of integrity that this gentleman has. This gentleman has made multiple 6 figures in this industry. He's about to hit 6 figures in this company as well. He is a diamond in this company. And I love every time we get to travel around the country and meet up, just the knowledge that we're able to share with each other. It seems so succinct based on our years of experience in this industry. So thank you for that as well, Seymour. Miss Francine, what's going on? I know you got a hand up. Talk to me.
Well, you were talking about pruning our social media list, and I've started doing that. And some people that I've unfriended have asked me again. I'm like, no way. So, how do we do this without setting fires everywhere? That's what I'm wondering.
How do you begin pruning without setting fires everywhere? Is that what your question is?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not worried about a fire, number one. And this, Nakia asked me a question earlier. Like, well, if nobody got some questions, I got some questions for you. I'm scared to get into your question, Nakia, but here's the thing, Francine, you can't be, first of all, you can't worry about what people think about you, number one. And that's kind of where those fires come from. I've learned, first of all, this is something I learned for a long time ago. My dad told me this. He said, never take advice from people that you would not trade bank accounts with. That was number one, right? And so I don't worry about what people think about me because it's really none of my business. People are welcome to think what they want. Their opinions don't pay my bills, and so I'm not worried about creating fires. Now, I have, respectfully, when I delete people and prune people from social media, look, half the time they don't even know. And again, they get improved because there's no engagement or anything else. And if they say something, I'll be glad to let you know. Oh, well, I had to delete you. And in my case, because I'm at limit, I had to delete you because I was at my limit. And I'm looking for people who are consistently trying to engage with me and help my business grow. And I haven't seen you place an order in over a year or ever or anything like that. And sometimes I'll be okay to hit them. Now, if you want to call that starting a fire, well, give me the matches because I'm going to set it off, right? But as Seymour just finished saying, like, you got to be real. You got to be real with people. I'm not trying to do anything rude, but I'm on social media to grow my business. And if you're a friend in real life and you're not supporting me, are you really a friend? That doesn't mean you have to join my business, but it does mean, like, if you're going to go and support all these people you don't know and want to buy designer clothes and support all these other big businesses, but you can't buy some laundry detergent from me, or you can't buy, some deal. Like, I said this before in a different context, but the principle remains the same. I do not do one-way relationships. They're way too painful. And so I wouldn't worry about setting fires or anything like that. And if somebody confronts you, or how come you don't friend me? Or how come you don't call me as often? Or why don't we get to go out? I'm busy trying to build my business so I can take care of my family. And I I got to associate with those who are in the same, wavelength as I am. And it doesn't mean we're not friends or we can't be friends or we can't go out. But my focus is changed dramatically. And when your focus changes, Francine, your business will change as well. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Perfect,
Thanks.
perfect. No problem. Gina, are you about to reiterate this fat, big thing? Is that what you?
Yes, because I'm still talking too much. And when you gave us that lesson, whatever conference it was, that
Then
stuck with me. The problem is I got so many notebooks, I can't find it.
no problem. So I'm
But
going to do that
I'm
training.
still talking too much. And if I can just give fact, and a bit of information, the way you laid it down to us, I mean, that made things just so much clearer. And every time I get on with you guys, I always tell you guys I got the gift of gab and I have to cut stuff off. That is so true with me. I just need to shut up sometime, give that person an opportunity to respond, take a breath, take a pause. But I have to practice it in order to be able to do it well. And every time I talk to someone in my head, I'm practicing it, but that ain't what's coming out.
Well, first of all, Gina, let me ask you this: did you catch the training we did 2 weeks ago when we did the 1 minute 1 minute conversation, 1 minute business? I forgot 1 minute.
I did, and I
Yeah,
loved every
patient.
minute of it. I did.
Okay, so let's start until you find your notebook and or I redo that training. Start with that because that keeps everything very, very simple. All right. The old golden rule: God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we talk.
Yep.
Keep that in the forefront of your mind. I was having a conversation with Miriam earlier today, and we were talking. She was like, "Coach, what do I say to this person?" And the person started asking her questions, and I told her quite honestly. I said, "First of all, Miriam, let me tell you something. Somebody got a cow in the background. All right, I told her in life, I got ADHD, and that just totally threw me off. Miriam, in life, I said, whoever asks the most questions controls the conversation, right? So you don't always want to be the one talking. You want to give people the opportunity to talk, right? So ask them questions, give them the opportunity to talk. And first of all, people love talking, especially about themselves. And when you're asking the right questions, Gina, they're going to talk and they're going to give you all the information that you need to sell, whether it be on a business product, whether it be on the business opportunity, or whatever the case is. But you want to practice that skill set of listening. It is difficult for us. Nakia and I have conversations all the time, and I tell her that it irks me when I'm talking to somebody and they're cutting me off, because in my heart I know they're not really listening. Or they're listening to respond, and they're so focused on what their response is going to be that they're missing it. I do that training. Some of y'all know I teach at the medical school, Morehouse School of Medicine, and that's one of the things that I've been training some of our other trainers on is make sure that when these doctors, and we're role playing with them, to listen to everything that the doctor is saying before you're responding. Don't cut them off. And it's the same thing in life as well. So it's practice, but the 1 minute business presentation, Gina, when you follow that methodology that I laid out, what it does is it keeps you nice and succinct. And you really do a whole business presentation and give people all the information that they need. If it's about a product, sometimes we get so excited about the products and we want to do exactly that. Talk and talk and talk and talk. You got to learn how to keep your story short.
Oh, can you turn that fan on over there for me?
Okay, we'll do that. But yeah, you got to learn to keep your story short and ask questions so that you can really concentrate on giving that person just exactly what they need.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
One little short note to that, and I know it's going to be funny. Practice what you preach. What does most women say that men don't do?
Listen.
Bingo.
Hold on, Betty, you said that way too fast, Betty. You ain't never answered a question that fast ever. But the fact that you answer that about the men and I'm sorry, my bad, Seymour. Go ahead, bro. That's
I'm offended.
So if you practice that,
No, you're not, Tommy.
you will cut it real short, because if you were thinking in your mind, I always say that men, well, I'm not saying you say that, Gina, but if women always say that we don't listen, but if you're not listening, you're doing exactly what you say we don't do. So start listening, put that, and Tommy know this, we got 5 senses, but us brothers, there's one that is most important of the 3, and that's listening. Back to you.
Thank you, man. And listen, in the comment section, Gina, Tommy said you need a mute button. I don't know what that means. I didn't write it. But you can get him. Nah, I'm just
Hey, coach. Hey, you said that, but you didn't say the rest of my statement, though. I mean,
oh, he said, I love you. My bad. I didn't even read that part. I was blown away. I wasn't expecting that. No.
All right, Tommy, you got to say it because I can't see it in this chat.
What I said, Gina, is you needed a mute button, but I love you. Right. I'll tell that story later.
Oh man! And listen, if you just
Tommy,
or you're brand new on our Wednesday night call, listen, man, we love to have fun, man. We build and train and educate as a family, guys. And so thank you for your patience as you try to figure out what is wrong with them. Nothing. We honestly love having fun and helping everybody out. All right, Miss Gwen, you got a hand up. Talk to me.
Gina, do like I do. Bite your tongue. Just bite your tongue. My question is, Coach, being that, I only have one person that's underneath me. And personally, I've been going through some changes for the past couple of months or so, and I'm finally coming out of that. But I feel like I've been a horrible sponsor, and yet I'm still in training too. So I want to know how to become a better sponsor, yet know that I'm in training too, trying to learn. I'm just at the same level as the person that I've sponsored. We're basically on the same level, but I don't feel like I'm able to feed them anything, enough knowledge to be a good sponsor. So I want to be a better sponsor.
The one word answer to that is leverage. Leverage. We talked about that last week. Tiara asked a very similar question about being a better sponsor, keeping them engaged, and different things like that. But you have to learn to seriously leverage your leadership, leverage other people, plug them into the system, right? Same answer. It doesn't change because that's the reality. Keep your people engaged, and you can. And if you want, you can be honest. Sometimes and Miriam and I was talking about this earlier. Sometimes people feel maybe embarrassed. They haven't been in as long, or they haven't had as much success and everything else. Listen, let your new person know we're about to learn this together, and we're about to tear this up together. Coach got a call every Wednesday, or there's a leadership call every Sunday and Tuesday, or jump into a testimonial on but get people engaged in the system, learning and everything else. And here's another thing, and a lot of us don't like doing this, but I'm telling you, it's actually a good thing when this happens. Ask every sponsor that I've had before this. Don't get upset or discouraged if the person you bring in shoots past you, has more success than you, hits a rank higher than you faster, makes more money. Encourage it, because I'm telling you, we are in an industry where you help enough people get what they want. By default, you'll get what you want. Ziegler said that years ago. And so, really be encouraged to help people. I've outranked every sponsor that I've had until I got here. Will was already a diamond, right? Well, no, technically he wasn't my original sponsor, and so I beat him too. But yeah, seriously, in every company that I've been in, I've outranked the person that brought me in, Gwen. And I don't want you to feel that, if I'm kind of at the same rank. Encourage them. But plug them into the system and encourage them to have success. Let them know you're learning together. Quiz each other. Make it a game. Hey, listen, after coach's call, or the next day, or whatever the case is, what did you learn? Did you take notes? Let's compare notes and everything else so that y'all are learning together and you're also reinforcing things. And another thing that I told you earlier, and I hate sometimes doing one-on-one coaching calls with y'all, because I feel like there's information that I'm sharing that everybody could use. But Gwen, we talked the other day, and so I'm going to encourage everybody to do this now, about having a notebook. Having a notebook, and every time you want to call me or reach out to me or ask a question and everything else, write this information down in your notebook so that you always know where it is until you're like Gina and you can't find your notebooks, right? But right, keep a notebook. You know, I love you too, Gina. But no, keep a notebook so that you can always refer back to the answer, and you'll be able to train your new people from this notebook as well. Does that make sense?
I got one. I do.
And by the
I
way,
have one.
let me give credit where credit is due. That notebook concept and thought pattern was reinforced and came from Miss Nakia Ray herself. Last week, after we got off the call, she was like, man, I wanted to tell Tiara that as well, about keeping a notebook and being able to go back and teach your people from that notebook and everything else. I keep a notebook. That's where I pulled some of those nuggets from earlier. I keep my training notebooks with me as well. It's something that we professionals do, and we want you to become a professional. Okay.
Mhm.
Did that answer the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that too, Coach.
Oh, go ahead, boss.
Also, watch your manifestation. If you tell yourself you're not good, that's exactly what you're going to be. You got to manifest good in yourself. I remember when we first, couple years back, when we used to have our Monday calls, social media calls with Melissa. She had that documentary, The Secret. I've heard about it, I've watched it before, but I used to get up every morning at 5 o'clock before I went to work for 1 hour before I had to get up, and I watched the entire documentation. And that helped me to learn to turn everything positive. So if you tell yourself you're not a good sponsor, that's exactly what you're going to be. How many times our parents told us not to use the word can't? Never say I can't, because once you say that, that's exactly what you're going to do. You hear people say, man, I'm always getting the bad people in a relationship. They spoke on that. Okay. When I get up in the morning, I remember before I started with HBN, and I got up and I had back pain, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have one of those days. Guess what? My entire day I was in pain. So now if I get up like that and I have pain somewhere, the first thing I do is I lay right back down. And I get up, even though I might be in pain, and I say, oh, day, I'm gonna have a good day today. I stretch and I get up. I take that negative thought out of my mind. I stay positive, and I make everything positive. I don't care how negative it may be. I turn it in somehow positive, because once you do that, you're gonna draw that positive energy back. So if you tell yourself, I'm gonna be a great sponsor, I'm gonna be a great leader, I'm gonna be a great teacher, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to start drawing that energy towards you, because again, your team success team member is going to start seeing that energy pushed out of you. They're going to start attracting that energy, and in turn, going to start pushing that same energy back out. So be careful of what you speak on yourself. Get rid of that negative stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nakia, did you want to add something to this?
I just wanted to say that your words have power, just what Coach Seymour was stating. Your words have power. And when you realize that your words have the ability to either build or destroy, you have to be mindful what you say. And when I say build, I'm not just speaking business. You have the power with your words to build people, to build yourself, but you also have the power to destroy. So be mindful what you say to yourself and what you speak, because your words do become your reality. So that's all I have to say, Coach.
No problem, no problem. Hey, thank you so much for that question, Gwen. And we're gonna, by the way, if you don't have a hand raised already, we're capping. Maybe we'll do a part 3 if y'all are interested. But I want to get y'all out of here in a timely manner tonight. So Maxine Hunter, you are up. Talk to me. What's your question, my dear?
Hey, Coach. I have a question. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyways. So for promoting the business, if you're out and about, like at a grocery store or whatever, should I have business cards with me?
Well, look, before I answer that, what do you think the answer is?
Yes.
Okay, then that's the answer. No.
Okay.
You should definitely always, have business cards and everything else. You never know when you will be afforded the opportunity to, exchange business cards or promote your business and different things like that. All right. So the general answer is yes. This is how, most people will exchange information. Now, I will say this. I'll walk into a restaurant or into a barbershop or wherever the case is, and I can have a pocket full of business cards, but I'll still use my old trick, which I teach people, and I taught this on a prior call, where I'll say, let me text you my information, and that allows me to get their phone number as well. And that's especially helpful when another person does not have a business card. There's 2 people and you want to exchange information. That's a great way of doing it, having a business card and everything else, right? And I tell you this because when you're talking to somebody and you just want to give out your business card, and then you come home and you tell your coach, your success team, your members, your support team, whoever, man, I talked to a really good prospect today, and you did not get their contact information. That is not a prospect, that is a suspect, Maxine. You just suspect they may have been good in your business because you have no way to follow up with them. And we say that the fortune is in the follow-up. So business cards definitely have their place. I would always have them on you, but I teach those closest to me, always make sure that you're getting an exchange of information, because if not, then it's not really a prospect. It's more of a suspect. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
No problem. Great question. Great question. All right, Ms. Betty Chandler, what you got? Oh, you want to say something, Shima?
Yeah, I'm going to say 2 things that I normally do also. One is when I'm out, because of my car, it has my logo in the back of my back window. If I'm going grocery shopping or something, I will leave 4 business cards in my window. So if anybody wants, they can always pull that. I know that way I don't have the information. But I also always carry a pen on me. So if somebody asks me if I have a business card and I have some on me, I will pull out 2 business cards. I'll hand them one, I have my pen ready, and I turn my other business card around, and without looking at them, let me get your information also so we can exchange information. That way they gonna feel they have to give me their phone number because I'm already ready to write. Okay? I'm taking them to action without touching them. So once I get their information, now, yes, they have my business card, but I also have their information on my card. Because like Coach Sonny just said, if you hand them that business card and you walk away, you don't have any information on that individual. So I always carry a pen with me anywhere I go. I guess that's the military in me. But if I give you a business card, I'm going to have another one in my hand ready to write. And I'm not even going to look at you. Because I look at you, you might be like, I don't know. But if I'm not looking at you and you see my hand already on that pen, piece of paper ready to write, you might give me your email, you might give me your phone number, and then we have some kind of exchange that way. But like I said, when I'm out, anytime I'm going into the store and I'm not going to be there for a while, I might leave 3 or 4 business cards in my window on my way in, and then always carry enough business card and a pen with you.
You see how Seymour say you carry a pen with him? That's old school. Like Seymour still probably do Jiffy Pop too. I'm new school. I'm just messing with you.
Thanks, Coach Seymour, because I have an event this Saturday, and so I'm gonna definitely make sure I get some business cards printed out either tomorrow or Friday. So thank you.
For sure. I can't get them to you probably by then, but I know I do business cards and magnets and everything else. So you can go to XF, like X Factor, xfprinting.com and put your order in. Let's get you some professionally made business cards as well.
Yeah, I have a printer, so I'm good, but I can do professional.
All right, that's what's up. What's up? Miss Betty Chandler, what you got, my dear?
Oh, yes, this is a different related question. I had sent it to you today. I sent it to you.
Okay.
It's regarding if you have an inactive person in your like leg 2, what do we do? How do we plug someone else in that position, or just what, I mean, you know, what do we do?
First of all, this is the answer that I want to see more to go ahead and just take for me, and he gets up and leaves. All right. I'm about to, hey, let's see what I go to the bathroom. I'm about to make him miss the bathroom. All right, no, here's the thing.
We'll take the next person and then come back.
Look how he came back. He came back real quick. No, first of all, let's specify which particular company you're talking about, HBN or GoToSana.
GoToSana. Already took care of HBN today and moved them, that person. So now I'm just trying to how to figure to move them from GoToSana, so because their account is inactive, and they relayed to me that they're not going to promote the business anymore. So
so by default, eventually they will get purged. It's just been different information on that I've received on how long it takes a person to actually get purged. And when the purge happens, technically, the next person underneath them, that is in the number 1 spot, is supposed to move up and will absorb in there. But I can't. I don't preach and let me not say preach. Sorry, because some of y'all was calling me preachers and everything else. I don't teach on things that I'm not 100% sure about.
Right. Because
I've seen different scenarios play out in our back offices, and I don't have control of the master system and how it really works and supposed to work and make sure that it's programmed correctly. I'm not even going to speak on that because even by, you know, some of the highest above uplines, I've been told answers, but it hasn't always panned out that way. And the reason is because they may have been told something, but that's just not how the system is actually moving. So we build around them. You continue building your business. But after a while, and you know, at one point it was 90 days, at another point it was 30 days, and you know, I can't keep up with what the changes are. I mean, that's just the truth. And you know me, I'm gonna always speak my truth. So I was like, I really don't want to answer this question, especially on camera. But the truth is, Ms. Betty, I do not know because I've been told certain things and I've seen different things happen within the back office. And because I have no control over it, and I'm just a rep like you, we just kind of wait and see. But I don't let that hinder anything. I just keep building and GoToSana. They did introduce the holding tank. Then it kind of disappeared and was not working. So we don't even look at it like that anymore. So just keep building. Technically, inside of any matrix, it's supposed to fill up top to bottom, left to right. Inside any forced matrix, it's supposed to fill up top to bottom, left to right. And so as you put people in, that's how they'll actually fall inside of your matrix. So you can't necessarily control where they're going in the matrix, but in HBN, it's not a matrix, it's a binary. It looks exactly the same, but we're able to place inside of the binary so that we can, because in the binary, technically you get paid on what we call your weaker leg, the leg that has the least amount of volume in it, not people, some people get that confused, but the least amount of volume in it, so we're able to technically place inside the binary. But, you know, because I got excited when they introduced the holding tank inside GoToSana. I was like, oh, this is wonderful. But nevertheless, so I don't have the exact answer for you. And I don't even know if you can get the exact answer except from anybody, except from maybe Paula or the programmers. That's just my truth.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Build around.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right. Miss Cretia, talk to me. You're going to get out on time, I think, tonight. or close to it, depending on how intricate your question is. Go ahead, Ms. Creasy.
Well, I just have a simple question. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Do we have to, okay, HBN question. Do we have to be those three numbers, as far as the BV? I mean, 25, 50, 100. Because like I have, a PM where he say, look, I want to order what I order on auto ship. So it's like 31, 32. Would that affect, where I'm, how they put the charts up where it's only 25, 50, 100? If you understand my question.
I understand your question, and the honest answer to that is no. It doesn't matter, with the exception of a few things. Number one, in order to be considered active in HBN, you have to be at 25 BV. Can't be below that. It's not considered active. Okay. And then number two, for payment purposes, the pay plan was changed. And so depending on what personal volume you are, meaning how much your BV is, will depend on, how much you are able to get paid from a percentage wise, and I don't have everything pulled up in front of me, but I know because I stay and I teach at 100 BV, you're getting paid 30%. Before, we used to have to order a certain package in order to be qualified to get 30%. Well, Paula changed that now. If you're at 100 BV, you automatically qualify for 30%, whereas you may only qualify for 20%, let's just say. I don't know the exact numbers right now, but we can go pull them up if you want. If you're, let's say, at 50 BV. And then it's the same thing with the binary bonuses. I was talking to, I think maybe Stephanie or somebody, no, Gwen, maybe it was Gwen. And I was just kind of explaining to her, it was Gwen, at 100 BV, if I flip a binary bonus, I'm getting paid $24. But if I'm not at 100 BV, if I'm at 50 BV, well, it's $12. And if I'm at 25 BV, then it's $8. And so if that binary bonus is going to flip anyway, I would rather get paid $24 than $8, right? So it doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make a difference, well, if the person says, well, I'm at 31 BV and da-da-da-da, well, great, you're still active. And if you're not actively building your business, but maybe just ordering products and enjoying the products and everything else, it won't matter much to them. But we just want to make sure that they are they're qualified to make the most money as possible. And then the last thing is with HBN, we are still rewarded where because you mentioned him being on auto ship. Well, if you're at the 100 BV auto ship, then you know that there's some perks with that as well. There's the additional 5%, but that's for everything. But there's the $250 in gift cards. There's what was the other one, Seymour? I don't blanked out real quick. Perk for being at 100 BV on auto ship.
It's free gift.
Free gift. Thank you. Thank you. And I think there's one more. So we're incentivized, if that makes sense, to display the best behavior, which is being at 100 BV, because not only does it pay more from a commission standpoint, and of course you're able to then qualify for your star bonus and everything else. But as long as they're active, you just want to make sure that they stay active.
Okay.
Because if you go inactive, you're losing your MRP points and different things like that. You don't want to do that.
Okay.
Trust me, you don't want to do that. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Seymour, I made you come back from the bathroom, bro. Was there anything you wanted to ask?
I was wondering if she was because I heard her say 25, 50, and 100. So I was wondering, was she meaning if it would affect her pay on the binary, or would it affect the individual that's doing the 31?
Yeah, my pay.
Okay. Well, that's not how you phrase the question.
Right. As long as you have depends on what your level you are at on your order. If you're at 25 BV, then you're only going to earn $8 when you cycle. If you're at 50 BV, or let's say 25 to 49, you only gonna get $8. 50 to 99, you only gonna get $16 when you cycle, and 100 and above, then you'll make the 24. So it won't affect you because his 31 volume points gonna count towards you reaching to that 200 to be able to cycle.
Oh, got it. Okay. That's what I was, okay. So the whole goal is to get that 200. cycle.
Right. On both, right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 200 on both sides.
Both
So you-
legs.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, when you have 200 volume on both sides of your binary, then the system automatically triggers a team bonus, binary bonus, what have you, to be cut.
Gotcha.
And depending on what BV you're at, will depend on how much you're going to get paid. And as I said earlier, why not get paid, the most you can, but that's depending on your volume.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it now.
If he's not at 100, then he's not going to qualify for you getting a star bonus. That's money that you're missing out on. It's going to take longer. Let's just say if everybody was at 31 BV instead of 100 BV, it's going to take longer for you to start flipping those team bonuses as well. And there's a few other things that you may miss out on, and they'll miss out on as well. And so that's why the proper behavior, as we call it, is incentivized for being on 100 BV.
Yeah,
All right.
because I'm at 100, but that makes sense. I'm trying to get that leg and the other leg because they not doing 100 right now, but that makes sense. Trying to get them legs at 200.
And make sure that when you sign your new people up, if you already have people on your strong leg, add them, put everybody on your weaker leg. That way you can get to that 200 a lot
Right,
quicker. too.
200. Got it.
And also a lot of times what people need to realize is we look at our volume or volume history, right? When you go to your volume history, you see your total right, total left, and then you see your total volume.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at the volume as just volume. That volume is equivalent to money because every time you cycle on that large side of the volume side, that counts towards the 200 that you're going to get on your left side, and that turns into money because if you divide that by the amount of time you're going to cycle and how much you earn, and if you had 100 to you, that's $24. That tells you how much money you got sitting on the table. If you let around and let that thing go inactive, that goes back to zero. Now you lost all the money. Now think about this. I got 12.9 million on my right side. Okay. Every time I cycle on, because I get 200 on that left side, I get $24. Just imagine how much money that is sitting on the table with 12.9 million in volume on my right side.
Right.
Why would I want to go inactive? So if something was to happen and you couldn't do your 100 CV that month, make sure you're going to at least do a 25 CV order. That way you don't lose your volume, you don't lose your MRP. Okay, because those are the two things you're going to lose when you go inactive. You never ever lose the commission that you have earned. I've had people that's been inactive for 5-6 months. They come back in and like, hey, I got $30. Yeah, that's been sitting there from the time you had that when you first went inactive. But what you don't have is your volume and your MRP points. So don't look at volume as just volume because we don't talk about it as money. That is equivalent to cash. Because that's, when you divide it, that number by the 400, it'll tell you how many times you can cycle. And then once you multiply that by the 8, 16, or 24, it shows you how much money you have sitting on the table. That's why I tell you a lot of time, they don't realize how much money they got sitting on the table because they're looking at the value, what it cost them to get started with HBN or Go to Silent, which was $0.95, okay? But if you look at your volume, you'll never go inactive. Never, especially if it's up there.
Okay.
And really quick, for those that may be new and not really understanding some things, if you go into your back office under the HBN library and click on documents and come under the category and click on incentive plan, you can then open up the actual HBN incentive plan, ladies and gentlemen. And I would suggest you start taking some time and reading through these things, because the other thing that has been changed semi-recently, Krisha, is the fact of you getting to a higher position. What do I mean by that? Well, the lifestyle bonuses are attached to different positions, starting at platinum and everything else. But it used to be, in order for you to, go from executive, bronze, silver, and gold, that you had to basically have a certain amount of executives and legs. But now you see this or has been added in here. Now it's also team cycles. So if you cycle that 200 and 200 5 times, Prisha, within a month, then you're also considered a bronze as well. If you cycle 10 times, even if you don't have 4 different executives and different legs, you're cycling, you can still start to get promoted in the company based on the amount of cycles that you have. And you're going to cycle a lot faster when people are at 100 BV as opposed to being at 31 BV as well. All right. Yeah. So you guys can definitely go inside your back office, and it was Tommy that mentioned earlier about making sure that you're clicking on 3 links a day, right? Let that be one of the links that y'all click on and start reading through that compensation plan and start to understand it. And when you don't understand things and you have some questions, that's when you go ahead and contact your upline support team or whatever y'all want to call them, and see if you can get them on a Zoom maybe to answer some questions and things like that. And if need be, maybe that'll be a future training as well. We'll start to, deep dive into, some of the nuances of the compensation plan as well. All right. But I do want to thank everybody that contributed a question. Hope that you got some clarity on some things, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody enjoy the call tonight outside of my shenanigans with Coach Senior?
Very good call.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, absolutely. I'm going to say
Love the
my
call.
question.
It was great. Yes. Very great.
Definitely enjoyed it.
Okay, good stuff. Well, y'all have definitely
appreciate it, Coach and Nikia.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
No problem. Hey, listen, we appreciate everybody joining us. If you're watching a recording, hopefully maybe you've learned something. And if you didn't, well, then to be on a call next time live. So you can ask your question and then you can learn something then. With that being said, if you're watching this recording, I'd like to thank you for your time. And again, we really do hope that you got something. And for those that are, live with us, y'all know the drill. Y'all stay tuned as we'll be talking to you guys a little bit more intense. Thanks everybody for watching the recording. You guys have a great night.